Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. So today we have Amy Jo Barron. She's our special guest today. Part of the reason Amy Jo is here today is because the holidays are often portrayed as joyful, warm, full of togetherness. But for many, this season can bring deep feelings of loss, sadness, and longing. And so today we're talking about grief, especially how it feels to navigate it during the holidays and what we can do to best prepare and help ourselves during this time. So, Amy Jo, thank you for being here today. Tell us a little bit about how you became a therapist, kind of your journey to being here.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me. And I never meant to be a therapist.
Uh-huh.
I was not seeking that. It was 1995. I was actually going through a divorce, had a small child. I needed a job.
Mhm.
And my best friend said, "Hey, the nursing home I work at is always hiring."
Mhm.
So I went thinking, okay, I'll be dietary, maybe a CNA.
Mhm.
And the social service assistant had turned in her resignation a couple hours before I showed up to
Oh
put in an
wow.
application.
Mhm.
And they said, "Would you be interested?"
Mhm.
Because at that time, you just had to have a high school diploma and
Mhm.
go through a little course
Mhm.
to be an assistant. So, of course, it was a no brainer Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, holidays off. So I took it, and then I actually found out I'm really good at this.
Mm.
And so from there, I had really great mentors, supervisors, and they're like, "You're going to need a degree."
Mm.
So I went to Indiana University, the Southeast campus, got my undergrad in psychology,
Mhm.
and then I went to University of Louisville for my master's in social work.
Mm.
During that time, I continued to work. I started out in the nursing home.
Mhm.
I then went to the hospital.
Mhm.
Worked in a skilled nursing unit, a geriatric psych unit.
Mhm.
I then also worked at a substance use disorder treatment facility
Okay.
that also offered medication assisted
Mhm.
treatment. I had some great internships with a partial
Mm.
hospitalization
Mhm.
and then inpatient and intensive outpatient
Oh.
programming.
Mhm.
And then in after I received my degree in 2008, we moved down to Georgia
Mhm.
where I was working for a CSB.
Oh.
And then I went in with Department of Community Supervision for
Mhm.
several years. And then most recently, I was a clinical treatment director for an accountability courts
Mm.
before coming over here to Modern Jane.
Wow. So
So,
you have a lot of a lot of history in
a
doing
lot
the
of history.
work that you do, a lot of experience.
Yes.
And you said CSB, right? What was that?
The Community Service Board.
Okay.
So in Georgia, these are the mental health, substance use disorder treatments. They
Mm.
have to provide treatment for basically all those others that some agencies will say, "Oh, we can't see you, you don't have
Mhm.
insurance." A community service board will provide
Mm.
services.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And so I know a lot of your focus was substance use as well, right? And kind of working with that.
Yes, co occurring disorders. So, most people are going to use substance use
Mm-hmm.
as a way to cope and manage mental health symptoms or issues that come from trauma.
Mm. Well, we'll have to do another video on that one, on substance use and information on that. But like I said, for today's topic, we're talking a little bit about grief and the
Mhm.
holidays, right? It's November. It hits a little bit
Yeah.
harder for certain people. So, in your own words, how would you describe grief?
Yeah. So, if you looked it up in the dictionary,
Mhm.
it says deep mental anguish.
Mm.
But in reality, it's not that all the time. I'm feeling so many different emotions. There may be relief, there may
Mm.
be sadness, there may be anger, and it's all related to this change and you're adjusting to this change in this relationship.
Mhm.
It may be a relationship with another person. That person may have passed on, they
Mm.
may have moved away, but it can also be a change in relationship with coworkers. You know,
Mm.
if you when you
Mhm.
retire
Mhm.
or you leave a job for some reason
Mm.
and you've formed some roots and now you those roots have been lifted and
Yeah.
they've been changed.
Mhm.
So I think of grief as it's an adjustment period. You're
Mm.
adjusting to this change in this relationship.
Mhm. Okay, that's a really great putting it, right? Because I know a lot of people think of grief as just someone dies, right? Like they think like,
Yes.
oh, then that's grief, right? But grief can look different in
Mm-hmm.
different areas, right? Like you said, it could be a relationship that ended. It could be like leaving those roots. Like
Yeah.
it could losing a job. It could be
Mm-hmm.
lots of different things. So I'm really
Yes.
glad that you already went into that and described that. But for like the period right now of like grief associated with death, right? What are
Yes.
some common misconceptions that people have about grief towards that side of it?
A lot of the misconception is this is something I will process and it'll be over.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, grief it's always going to be there.
Mm.
And I actually brought something to kind of show
Yeah, go ahead.
this.
That's actually great.
So, what we have, let's say this is your grief,
Mm-hmm.
and this may be related to the death of a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your life at the time that that person has died. And so here's your grief. It's large. It
Mm-hmm.
takes up a lot of this room, and this jars your life.
Mm-hmm.
But all you can feel is this
Ball.
grief.
Mm-hmm.
It's here. It hurts. It. I miss this person.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to think?
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, the grief does not change.
Mm.
The grief stays the same size. It
Yeah.
stays where it's at, but your life gets larger.
Oh wow.
You get other connections,
Mm.
you more people, hobbies, interest, self care. All this, your life expands.
Yeah.
So the grief stays the same. Grief does not go away,
Yeah.
but it remains the same. It's your life that changes. It gets larger.
Mm.
And that is the processing of grief is I need to form these new connections.
Mm.
I need to expand on my life
Yeah.
because if I leave my life the same size, that's what I'm going to feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
That's a great analogy. I love that. I've never heard of someone put it that way. That's like it just feels like this ball and it just feels like it's just there, right? Like you
it's
don't know what to do, you don't know how to adjust. So what do
well,
you think for someone who's had a recent death or maybe it's been years, right?
mhm.
What are what are some ways that you feel like help people kind of not move on but necessarily work through it?
One is going to that person and saying, "What do you need from me?
Hmm.
How can I help? What do you need at this moment that I can help with?"
Hmm.
Don't try to fix them.
Yeah.
Going up and saying, "Oh, it's been 3 weeks. You should be over this,"
Hmm.
or, "Well, they're in a better place now."
Hmm.
Those are meant. We say those things from kindness of our heart. We don't want our friend or our family member to be hurting,
Hmm.
but it doesn't take away that pain. It
Hmm.
doesn't take away the fact that they are having to adjust.
Hmm.
And so just sitting there saying, "Hey, I know you're going through a whole lot. What do you need today?"
Hmm.
Um, and it may be, I just need you to keep inviting me.
Hmm.
even if I say no, keep inviting me,
Yeah.
because one day I will say yes.
Mm.
I need to know, I need to feel that connection
Mm.
that you still want to be part of my life,
Yeah.
even though this other person is no longer in my life. I
Mm.
still have those connections.
Yeah. And so when should people worry? Like when it comes to, like there's a differentiation between grief and depression,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
What is timeline? When should people start to worry?
I say when you are no longer able to function in a typical activities of daily living.
Mm.
So
What would
I
that look like?
so
Sorry.
that may be, it's a real struggle to get up, go to work. I'm
Mm-hmm.
calling out more often.
Mm.
I'm, having supervisors or coworkers saying, "Hey, you've, you're not producing the right work.
Yeah.
You're not the same." And of course, that's going to be expected the first few
Mm-hmm.
weeks. That, hey, just be easy with me. But you know, if I've always made my bed first thing in the morning and I'm not making my bed,
Mm.
if I've been one that has always taken a shower every day, and I'm not, not that I'm dirty or anything, but I'm not
Doing what I usually
usually
do.
what I usually do.
Mm.
Um, my eating habits may change,
Okay.
so if I've always been one that said, "Hey, let me eat healthy, let me eat a salad at lunch,"
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm not. It might
Mm.
be, "Oh, here's a granola bar from the bottom of my purse."
Yeah.
Again, for the first few weeks, you kind of expect that because you
Yeah.
may be feeling depressed. You may be feeling anger
Mm-hmm.
about this loss and this
Mm-hmm.
change. But when it continues,
Mm.
when you're looking and saying, "Okay, hey, it's been a month and I'm still not able to function where I was at before this
Mm.
change,"
Yeah.
all right, I might want to start kind of talking with someone.
Yeah.
Um,
Talking to someone about what's going on or how I've been
mhm.
feeling.
Yes.
Okay. And I know with grief, right? You always hear about the 5 stages of grief. Can you
Yes.
go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so that's Kubler Ross. And so we've got these 5 stages, and that's
Mm.
another misconception,
Mm.
is that I'm going to go through each one of these stages in order.
Mm.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Right. So, the first stage, oh, we've got denial.
Hmm.
And that may look like, oh, they're going to walk through the door any minute,
Mm.
or they'll, the doctor was wrong, and
Mhm.
this is not really happening. You may possibly not feel denial first,
Mm.
because maybe you were there at the deathbed. Maybe it was an expected death. Maybe you
Yeah.
had hospice. And so when you look, you might go, "You know what? I really didn't experience denial first."
Mhm.
It may have been the anger.
Mm.
It may have been the depression. It may have been the bargaining that
Mhm.
I felt first.
Yeah.
Um, and then acceptance. And so I may feel angry one day.
Yeah.
Why did God let this happen?
Yeah.
Why did it have to happen right now,
Or to
or,
me.
or to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
or to this person? This person was so good.
Mm.
Why did it have to happen to them?
Yeah.
And so we may feel anger towards that person, or we may feel anger towards
Us or
what happened to
everyone.
the person.
Yeah.
um, there may be bargaining first.
Mhm.
Okay, Lord, let this be, the doctor made a mistake,
Yeah.
and I'll be good.
Mhm.
I'll donate more to the food
I'll
bank.
go to church
We
more.
go to church
Yeah.
more. Um, and so I may move from anger, and I may move to bargaining, and then I might go to depression, and then I might go to denial, and then
Mm.
um, and some days I may feel all of those
Mm.
stages.
Yeah.
And so this misconception is okay, hey, I'm in this stage, so now I'm going to the next stage. Oh, I'm processing it. I'm almost to acceptance. And that's not.
Yeah.
And I may even get to acceptance, and there may be situations or
Mm.
events, things that trigger,
Yeah.
and now I'm back into depression or
Mhm.
anger or denial
Yeah.
again. And because the misconception is you're going to go through these stages, when you get to acceptance, you're good.
Mhm.
And
It's not
now
always
I'm
the case.
questioning, oh, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And there is nothing wrong. This
Mhm.
is typical. This
Yeah.
is this is part of being human.
Mhm.
And there is no timeline.
Yeah. It's like we always say, healing isn't linear.
Yes, yeah,
So they're gonna experience a wave of emotions, right? And so
yes,
it's bound to be confusing, right? I think some people
yes,
get aggravated, like, why am I still crying over it? Why am I so upset about this? Like, it's already happened. It's been years, right?
yes.
But it's like there's, like you said, that ball is still there, right? The
It's
grief doesn't change.
yes,
It's still there.
yes, and so that's why I said let's look at how you're functioning activities of daily living,
Mm. Mhm.
because that grief is going to be there, and there will
Mhm.
be days that you cry and you're like,
Mhm.
it's been 5 years
Mm.
or it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Um, there's those memories are still there.
Mhm.
So allowing yourself and saying it's okay for this grief to be here.
Yeah.
I just have to, is it sliding into that depression
Mm.
where it's clinical depression
Yeah.
versus is this grief?
Yeah. And there may be some people that are like, I know they're dead. Like I've accepted that they're dead. I know they're
Mm-hmm.
gone. Like, but I don't know why I'm still upset about it. What
Yeah.
could you kind of say there?
I would say let's look at your connections. Have you expanded your life?
Mm.
Or is your life the same size as it was
Mm.
at the time of this loss? Because I can say, yes, I know that they're dead, they're gone, they're not
Mhm.
here, they're not coming through the door, but they're still such a large part of my life. But have I formed new connections?
Mm.
Have I expanded my life?
Mhm.
And in many cases, what you find is, no, I
They don't.
haven't.
Mhm.
You know,
And so, what would that look like? Forming those new connections, expanding their
mm,
life. What would they need to do?
a lot of times it's sitting down and just really thinking, what did I gain from this relationship with this person? What needs did this person fulfill in my life?
Mm.
So it
Yeah.
may be they were a shoulder to cry on. They were someone I could go to when I was having a bad day,
Mm.
and they just knew
Mhm.
how to,
Flip the switch, make me
switch and
happy. Yeah.
help me see the blessings.
Mhm.
I knew that this is the person I could call at 3 a.m., and they were going to answer the phone and they'd be
Yeah.
there for me. What is it that that person provided?
Mm.
But also weighed out what were the negatives of that relationship,
Mm.
So what didn't work
Yeah.
in that relationship? And okay, hey, I'm not replacing this person.
Mhm.
But now that I know what needs that they fulfilled for me,
Mhm.
I can look who else is out there? Who else makes me laugh?
Mm.
Who else is okay with me calling at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and not cussing me out,
Yeah. Mhm.
who who else, is there for me
Mhm.
that provides it? And it may be three or four different people
Yeah, maybe more
that I
than we
have to go
thought.
to,
Yeah.
because this person might make me laugh, but you call it 3 a.m.,
They're
they're
not
going to make me
answering.
cry.
Or yep.
And so I may find, oh, I need
This from this
this
person
person
and
and
this from
this
that
from this
person.
person. But you're also asking, what did I give?
Mm.
What did I give to that relationship? What did I bring to the table? And who else could I bring that too? Who else might need that?
Mm.
Because again, it's connection. It's not just I need others,
Mm-hmm.
but others also need me.
Mm.
And so taking that time to really say, what is it that I need?
Mm.
But also, what can I bring?
Mm.
Who might need that person that calls at 3 a.m., you know,
Yeah.
who needs that shoulder to cry on?
Yeah.
You know, what did I bring to that relationship?
Yeah. I think that's beautiful. Like, I also like having them recognize and reflect their own strengths to
Mm-hmm.
realize that like this person is great, yes, but you also have your own qualities that you provided to the table that you still
Yes.
have and you can
Yes.
still use. So I think that's great that you
Yes.
bring that into practice too.
Yes.
So grief already as it is a complex emotion,
Mm-hmm.
complex area, right?
Yes.
And so how come grief is harder during the holidays?
Well, I was watching TV last night,
Mm-hmm.
and we have here's the Hallmark Christmas movies, right? So we automatically start even the commercials,
Mm.
all about togetherness. So
Mm.
we've got Thanksgiving coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, all the grocery stores.
Mm.
We want you to buy all your goodies here,
For
you
your
know,
family and
for your family. So
friends.
we've got
Mm-hmm.
this great big table, and every seat is filled,
Mm.
and we have multi generations,
Mm.
and we have friends coming in, just stopping in, saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I know you didn't expect me, but oh, come on in. We'll have
Mm.
it. We have a seat for you."
Mm-hmm.
And if you've just had a loss,
Mm-hmm.
especially if this is the first holiday
Without them.
without them. And I also say sometimes we have to talk about the ones that maybe were not necessarily born
Mm-hmm.
or have not
Uh,
celebrated a holiday. We
mm-hmm.
have miscarriages and stillbirths
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And we were expecting baby's first
Mm.
Christmas. We were expecting someone to be at needing another chair this year.
Yeah.
And now that chair's empty.
Yeah.
And so it's being able to say, okay, here's this commercial showing all these people
Mm.
around this table.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can think about is the ones that won't be at the table.
Mm. Yeah.
And I remember the good times, or I
Mm-hmm.
remember my dream that I had for the
Yeah.
times we were going to have.
Mm-hmm.
And that can bring up a lot. Also, we know that we're grieving.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we're sad, angry, arguing, denying.
Yeah.
And this is holly jolly time. I can't be Debbie Downer, you know.
Yeah.
And so we put so much pressure on ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to put this mask
Mm.
and saying, oh, everything's wonderful,
Yeah.
everything's great,
Yeah.
you know. And that's an awful lot of pressure.
Mm.
So I encourage be easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to look at a 30-second commercial. It's easy to act all happy and have a full table for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That commercial doesn't show that in years past they had to have 3 tables and now they're down to 1 table. You
Mm.
know, we don't see that
Yeah.
aspect. And we're comparing ourselves to something that's not real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's get real.
And so for people who, they still want to be around their family members or
Mm-hmm.
still be around that, but then they still have this grief, what would you advise them to kind of help them still be present in the holidays, but then also still leave room for their grief?
Yeah, that is decide
Mm-hmm.
what traditions, what is it that I need? And it may be, and be willing to allow that to change.
Mm.
So, it may be sitting there and saying, here's something that happened. It's, this person's not here. It may be
Mhm.
talking to the family. Here's what I would really like to see
Mhm.
this year, this holiday. Here's something, please don't do this.
Mm.
Don't ask me to do
Yeah.
this.
So setting boundaries.
So setting those boundaries and
Mhm.
saying, hey, it may change.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
um, I may think that I can do this, but
Mm.
I can't.
Mhm.
Be easy on
Mhm.
yourself. Be easy on your loved one that's going through that grieving process.
Mhm.
Um, invite them, but don't push them.
Mm.
So they may have had the death in August.
Mhm.
And so you're saying, hey, come over for Thanksgiving dinner. And then the day after, we're going to go get Christmas trees and we're going to go Christmas caroling. And
Yeah.
you've got this whole thing planned for this whole weekend of
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. And it may have been tradition.
Uh-huh.
And they may go, well, I'll be there for Thanksgiving dinner. I'll come over on Saturday and
For a little bit.
for a little bit we'll decorate,
Mhm.
but I'm not going to be there Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Now you know that person wouldn't want you just sitting around home
Mm.
moping.
Yeah.
Well,
Oof. How do you navigate that?
and I'm going to say don't push.
Mm.
Don't
Mhm.
push your friend, your family member, your loved one.
Mm.
If they say I don't want to do
Yeah.
this. You've invited them. Just say, okay, well, the invitation's open
Mm.
if you change your mind.
Yeah.
Because they may wake up on Black Friday morning and say, hey,
Let's go shopping.
let's go shopping,
Yeah.
But it may be too difficult.
Mm.
And asking them, what traditions.
Mhm.
I can remember years ago having a friend. Her grandmother had died. Her grandmother always made
Mhm.
Thanksgiving dinner, did the whole 9 yards,
Yeah.
made wonderful pumpkin pies.
Oh.
And the year grandma died,
Mhm.
her mom was the oldest daughter, and it was like, okay, you're doing Thanksgiving. It
Mm.
wasn't asked.
Yeah.
Her mom had been the caregiver for grandma.
Mm.
It was just too much.
Mhm.
And so she was like, yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Uh-huh.
You had another aunt that said, I don't want to see a pumpkin pie.
Mm.
Nothing's going to measure up to mom's
Pumpkin
pumpkin
pie.
pie.
Mm.
Don't bring one.
Mhm.
I don't care if you bake it, I don't care if you buy it, it's not going to be the same. I don't
Yeah.
want a pumpkin pie. And so having that talk as a family, what does each family member need?
Yeah.
Don't just assume, oh, you're the oldest daughter, so mom's not here anymore, so
You
you,
gotta do
you get to do
everything.
everything
Mm.
because
It shouldn't be just on
it
that.
yeah, it
Yeah.
shouldn't be. And they may be saying not this year, but maybe
Mhm.
next year.
Mhm.
You know, it's talking down and saying, yeah, our traditions are going to change,
Yeah.
and being willing to
Have
allow
that
that.
conversation with them. Yeah. And so I think that's a great example, right? Setting that conversation before it even happens, right? Before
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving happens, before Christmas happens, and
Yes.
saying, okay, like mom used to do all of this.
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't just put it on one person. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do we not want to do this? Like, having that
Yes.
conversation and talking about what would be best for everyone, right? So
Yes.
that's really great. But what about for those families who don't have that conversation, right? For those families who are like, we're not talking about the grief, it's not
Yeah.
being addressed. But then how Thanksgiving comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just might feel very overwhelming being there. What are
Yeah.
some ways that, some quick coping skills that people can do when they're already there?
Yeah. So you're already there. And at that moment, it maybe remind yourself, okay, this year, because we're not talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
we're pushing through it. our Christmas might look more like National Lampoon's Christmas
Uh-huh.
than the Hallmark, all right? And kind of saying it in their head. And it may be saying, all right, I'm here. This is overwhelming. It's
Mhm.
too much.
Mhm.
It is okay for me to say, y'all, I love you, but I'm leaving.
Mm.
It is okay to say
Yeah.
that. It is okay if the family is not talking,
Mhm.
we're just going to push through it, to even say, you know what, this year I think I'm going to do something different.
Mm. Mhm.
And recognizing, okay, they may try to guilt trip me, they may try to
Yeah.
push me into it, but I'm going to reach out to my supporters that
Yeah.
are going to say, hey, it's okay
Yeah.
to not go to Thanksgiving dinner with your family.
Mhm.
Because maybe this year you want to serve at the soup kitchen.
Mhm.
It's okay to stay at home and just eat a turkey dinner from
With your
the
family.
microwave,
Yeah, or
you
that, that's
know,
fine,
and
Mhm.
and being able to say, reach out to those people
Mhm.
that do support you doing
Mhm.
what you need to do to take care of you.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
And I also tell people like, okay, if you really want to be there, let's say you just
mhm.
can't leave for whatever reason. You know how family can
Yes.
be and they're persistent. They're like, no, you can
Hmm.
stay, right? And you just feel like it's overwhelming. I always tell them like, go to the bathroom. Give
Yes.
yourself that time to just breathe,
Hmm.
right? You might get a little bit of that social anxiety and just be like, this is a lot. There's a lot happening. Everybody's
Yeah.
talking. And I'm thinking about that person that passed away, right? Whereas
Yes.
everyone else is like on a different topic. Go to the bathroom, take some
Good.
deep breaths, right? Like that's where
Hmm.
those handy coping skills we like to
Yes.
say. Taking deep
Yeah.
breaths, the progressive muscle relaxation, just trying to ground yourself in that moment in
Yes.
case you really can't leave for whatever reason.
Yes. Yeah. So if you can't leave, yeah, you can still leave. You know,
Yeah, you can still
uh,
exit out of that.
yeah. It maybe I'm going to sit on the back porch. I'm going to go for
Mm-hmm.
a walk. I'm going
Yeah.
to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you can still leave.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you're having memories
Mm-hmm.
and no one else wants to talk about the loved one,
Mm-hmm.
you can.
You can
You,
bring it up first, you're
you,
saying.
you can bring it up first
Mm.
yourself. You can say, you know what, I can remember how
He or
Phil,
she used to do
yeah,
this.
do
Mm-hmm.
this, or how much they always loved this.
Mm.
And so you can bring it up.
Yeah.
And it may even start sharing some memories.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, that person is still part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to talk about them and share them with everyone
Everyone
else.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Amy Jo. You did. This was a great
Uh,
conversation. Any last minute things you want to say?
Mainly, we hear no shave November for men, but for everyone, it can be self care November.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going and this grief is very large still in your life,
Mm-hmm.
take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Speak up, do what you need to do to take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
while you're forming those connections and add into your life and enriching your life.
Mm-hmm.
And really ask yourself, what's going to help enrich me? What's going to help expand my life
Mm-hmm.
so that this grief is not as large?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take up as much space in my life, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still going to be there.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to be easy,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
ask for your needs.
Yeah. Take care of
So
yourself.
take care of yourself.
All right. Well,
So
perfect, Amy Jo. I think you did great with everything. Thank you so much for being here. Well,
thank
hopefully
you.
we'll have you again with the substance use and other topics.
All right.